Bangidi, oh Bangidi, land of our nativity. Oh, how we love you, land so richly blessed. We pledge to you undying love for bounties past and yet to come freely. We thrive securely. Oh, welcome to our fatherland. Welcome to our land.
As strong as an ox. It would appear that all Mr. President has is just a common case of the flu.
Good. So I can get out of this bed and get on with some important work.
Not so fast, my friend, Mr. President. In my capacity as Surgeon General of the Republic and personal physician to the President of the Federal Republic, I am ordering you off work for the next 48 hours.
You do realize that I am Commander-in-Chief?
Of the armed forces. You're not my commander-in-chief. In fact, in this republic, I am commander-in-chief when it comes to matters that pertain to health. And I'm therefore ordering, or rather, commanding you to stay off work for 2 whole days.
Okay, Dr. Chimaobi, can I at least consult with my vice president tonight before the work embargo kicks in?
Considering that your vice is such a beautiful woman, she's a darling, I will allow that. But immediately after her, no work for 2 days. Do I make myself clear, Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief?
Aye, aye, sir.
Yeah. And whilst we're at it, please take your medication. Here they are. Because if you don't, I know who I will tell.
And who might that be?
The Commander-in-Chief's Commander-in-Chief, of course, your wife.
Now you're scaring me. I promise to behave.
I know you will. Mr. President, I have to run off right now. But please take your medication. One of the medications I gave you will make you sleep a little bit more than usual, but not to worry, it's all right, because you really need the rest, okay?
Thank you, Dr. Chin.
Mr. President, my friend, the Commander-in-Chief.
As usual, another perfectly brewed cup of tea by Her Excellency. Thank you, ma'am.
When are you going to stop this, Your Excellency thing? My name is Halima. Call me by my name, especially when we're not in a public function.
I'm afraid that's not likely to happen, Mom. I am a very well brought up African lady, and because of that, I cannot call you by your given name. Okay. Let's come to an agreement that I will call you Auntie. I mean, you're almost old enough to be my mother.
Oh, Hassan, come and say hello to us.
Mama. Good evening, Your Excellency.
Good evening.
Hassan Yayadi, thank you for coming in to see us.
Yes, sir.
Vice President, my firstborn son. How can you then say that I'm old enough to be your mother? I beg. Old enough to be your elder sister, perhaps, not your mother.
Hello, Hassan. I haven't seen you in a while. I trust you're well?
Very well, thank you, Madam.
Hassan, here I am trying to win Tabby away from calling me Your Excellency, and you're going all formal on her.
All right, Auntie. I think I found the perfect solution. I will call you Auntie Halima, and Hassan will get to call me Tabi.
I was lying. Hassan would do no such thing. If I'm old enough to be your auntie, you're also old enough to be his auntie.
Dahala, Mama, I have stuff to do in the study, if you don't mind.
Oh, I thought you're looking in to see your father. He's been under the weather lately.
No such thing.
Oh.
What if what he has is contagious? You don't want your darling son to catch it. Like, Baba will be all right. As for me, I have more important things to do in the study.
Inshallah.
If I may.
Young men of nowadays.
Hassan's such a stickler for protocol, unlike his father. Anyway, enough of fathers and sons. Auntie Halima will now make you another cup of tea.
Auntie, I would love to, but right now I have to go in and see my Olga.
What Oga? You mean our joint husband?
Auntie, everybody knows that you are my Olga's one and only.
Okay, tell me. Where are you going to hold this meeting with our husband? Is it not in his bedroom?
But that's only because he's...
Spare me all the long explanation. The fact is, you're the only other woman who enters his bedroom. That makes you his wife of sorts.
All right, let's come to another compromise, Auntie. I will be his wife in the office while you man the home front. Deal?
He's always in the office. So, who is the senior wife then?
You know what? I cannot win with you, Ajia. So I'm going in to see my Olga, your Megida. Good evening, Your Excellency.
Personally, I don't see why you cannot have a piece of the coal mining action. After all, you are a citizen. And it is the entire idea of this administration's economic policy to put the commanding heights of the economy in Bangidian hands.
All well and good. But you know the complications in my case.
That should not be an issue if you've done the needful, as in ensuring that the ownership of the bidding company is kept hidden.
I'm pretty sure the company cannot be traced to me.
Then there should be no problem then. I can assure you that the Senate will approve the concession. The only trouble, if any, should come from this meddlesome presidency, of which your wife is vice president.
Thanks a million for reminding me. As if I didn't know that.
You can be as glib as you like, but we all know what a stickler for the so-called due process this ancient president, your wife's boss, can be. By the way, how do you cope with a wife who is your senior in order of protocol?
What order of protocol? I have resigned from government service, remember? Besides, I think it is you I should be asking. How does it feel playing second fiddle to my wife in the order of protocol? After all, she precedes you in that order.
Only a man like you will let his wife accept an appointment that will see her becoming her own husband's superior. You terminated your career in foreign service when President Sidi tagged your wife to be his running mate.
So, all the summit has to do is to hold that renegade army general to his promise to hand power over to an interim government in Ouagadougou.
That's about it, Mr. President. However, I shall be making the announcement of our intention to send a 2,000-man peacekeeping force. That way we drive home the point that Bagidi will not tolerate a military presence in the region.
I see you're having a handle on these foreign policy issues. Well done.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm sorry about that. However, I have had the privilege of learning at the feet of the master.
Ah, there you go again, caressing the ego of a sick man.
Sick man? But sir, you told me that it was just a simple case of the common flu.
Yes, that's what Dr. Obi said. According to him, I should be up and about in 48 hours.
Right, sir. So by the time I'm back from this summit in Accra, you should be bubbling again, right? Okay. All right, Mr. President.
Right. Tabby,
Yes,
one
sir.
more thing we need to discuss.
Yes, sir?
It's about your husband, Ambassador Johnson. The director of due process informs me that he is behind a company that is bidding for the concession of the National Coal Mining Company.
Respectfully, Mr. President, there must be some mistake. I mean, Babu knows better than to do anything of the sort. I'm sure you must be wrong.
My information is quite correct. You see, the only saving grace is that the director told me the instant he found out. You'll have to ask him to renounce the bid before it becomes public knowledge.
Consider it done, Mr. President.
Tim, as the NSA, you ought to have accurate intel regarding the state of the president's health.
Well, all I can say for now is that my operatives in the villa have no reason to believe that the president is seriously ill.
I have my doubts. We have to be careful. The last time something like this happened in a neighboring country, they were stuck with an imbecile as president. We need to know precisely the state of the man's health. That man can croak on us at any time.
We will be stuck with the prospect of having that uppity woman take over as president. Which is why I have given the green light to my inside man to activate Operation Omega tonight.
Clarkson. And you're just telling us.
So D-Day is at hand. I need to brief the boys.
Sariki, Tim, it is all up to us now. The future of Bangkiti depends entirely on how we play our roles tomorrow.
It's okay, gentlemen. Let us rendezvous at the villa by 0900 hours tomorrow.
Not so fast, my brother. Have you forgotten that we have another meeting tonight? Let us make it 10:30.
Okay. Well, Sarki and I better start rushing home so we'll get ready for the conclave later this night.
You're right. We'll see you then.
I can see you appear to be looking so much better. Could the visit of your vice president have anything to do with it?
Mrs. Ali, shame on you for having such an insinuation. My recovery has everything to do with the quality of care my darling wife of over 40 years has lavished on me these past 2 days I have been down.
Malam Sidi Ali, you and your sweet mouth. No wonder you became a politician. But tell me the truth. You wish you had her as your second wife, admit it.
All I can say is that it is too late in the day for me to be contemplating a second wife. When I was young and agile, you wouldn't permit it. Is it now that I'm old and actionless that I will be experimenting with a new wife? Malama Halima Ali, Dong Allah Kurabudani.
Okay, I'll leave you alone. But let it be on record that I finally gave you permission to take a second wife. Even at this late hour.
Yeah, right. As the Americans will say, please pour me a glass of water to take my medicine.
Now you see why you need a second lady. I'm getting too old for these wifely chores.
Serves you right for not agreeing earlier. Thank you. Oh, by the way, the doctor says the medication will make me sleep longer than usual. So don't bother about my early morning tea, okay?
With all pleasure. One less chore for an overworked, elderly First Lady.
Serves you right for not agreeing earlier.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, sweetheart.
Harawoya. 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 On behalf of the Supreme Guru, I hereby declare this meeting open. Welcome.
Yes, Babu?
Tabi. You didn't tell me you were traveling. I just woke up only to be told that you're on your way to Accra.
Oh, I'm sorry. The president asked me to represent him at the Accra summit yesterday. Besides, I waited up till pretty late last night to speak with you. And by the time I was preparing to leave this morning, you were still asleep. What kept you so late last night?
We had an extended meeting of the governing council of the Metropolitan Club last night. Well, I'm still upset that you traveled without notice.
Once again, my apologies, Oluworimi. But if you check your bedside table, you'll see I left a note for you explaining this trip.
Oh, you left a note? I see. Well, in that case, please go well.
Thank you, sir. Oh, by the way, there's something else I wanted to talk to you about last night.
Yes, my dear. What could that be about?
Sorry, darling, I can't go into details now. We're about to take off. But the president told me something about you and the coal mining concession. We'll have to talk about it when I return, okay? I'm I'm sorry, love. I have to go now. I'll call you when I get there. Bye-bye.
Mr. Chief of Staff, apologies for barging in on your privacy. We simply have an important matter.
Well, Your Excellency, I see that you've already made yourselves comfortable, so by all means. If I may ask, though, to what do I owe the pleasure of such a visit from distinguished seniors like yourselves?
Well, I am here in my capacity as the National Security Advisor to inquire after the health of Mr. President. My operatives here don't seem to have a very clear picture. As they say, the President has not been seen in the past 36 hours or more.
Well, sir, that's only because he has been recovering from a mild case of the flu. The doctor has placed him under bed rest.
I'm here to commiserate with my CNC, who missed out on the passing out parade of the Defense Academy.
And I am here to give him feedback on the passing out parade where I represented him.
Well, as I said, he's recovering from the flu and he needs his rest. The doctor, however, says he should be up in the next 48 hours. I spent some time with him last night and I can assure you he's well on his way to recovery.
If you may recall, a similar incident had happened in a neighboring country some few years ago. And similar assurances were given, despite the fact that their then president was terminally ill. If you don't mind, we may need more than your assurances.
That is actually very true, you know. Look, the state of health of Mr. President is an issue of national security. So we will need much more than mere words and assurances from you.
Well, sir, all I can give you right now is... If you like, you can consult with the Surgeon General for more details.
There's no need to be overly dramatic over such a simple matter. Of course, if the Senate wishes to, it can simply summon the Surgeon General to get the answers.
Gasciani.
But that would only heat up the polity, and you know we do not want that. So why don't we simply pay the President a get-well-soon visit? Since we're already here.
Simple. Go to the point.
Okay, I don't think that should be a problem, but I would need to have Hajia Halima's permission before I let you into the President's bedchamber.
Please, by all means, go ahead and ask her. I'm sure Hajia will understand exactly where we're coming from.
Okay. Well, in that case, if you would excuse me, I'll be right back.
They're hiding something.
It's obvious.
Yes.
Tabi, you must have landed in Accra by now, I'm sure.
Yes, Babu, I'm sure you can hear the sirens blaring. We're on our way to the State House.
Yes, I can hear the siren. I just want to know what the president said about the coal mining thing. I'm afraid there might be some misunderstanding on his part.
No, he didn't go into any details, only that I should ask you about your possible involvement with the project.
Are you sure that's all he said?
Yes, Babu, that's all he said. Listen, honey, why don't we talk about this more upon my return?
Listen, do not believe any lie they tell you about me, okay? I'll be the last person to jeopardize your office. You hear me?
Yes, darling, I hear you. Look, we're almost at the Ghanaian president's office. I really need to run now. I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Take care.
So, Ajay, what is your response? They are waiting.
Let the vultures wait. Is it they're wishing him dead or what? A man can't have a common cold without these political hyenas reading some sinister meaning to it.
Hajia, by now you should know intrigue is second nature to all politicians.
Sidi is a politician. He doesn't meddle with intrigues. Oh, where in the world did he come about this nest of vipers?
Well, that is the nature of politics. It makes for some very strange bedfellows. So what do you say, Hajia? They seem to be pretty adamant.
I left the poor man in bed this morning to sleep on. He took some sleep medication last night. Now these vultures want to disturb his peace. Okay, go in and see if he's awake. And ask if he wants to see them. If he's awake. If not, leave him to sleep on, please.
Thank you, Hajia. I'll do just that.
Tim, have you activated the contingency plan? And is this room secure?
Oh, yes. My boys do a bug sweep of offices every morning. And then again, the guys at the operations command headquarters of my office. They have bugged the telephone lines of every principal officer in the presidency.
Good. We can discuss freely here.
Yes, of course, except if they have installed something of recent which I do not know about. But I doubt that. I doubt.
Okay. Sariki, what about your own end of things?
It's all sorted. The commander of the brigade of guards had been put on amber alert. The boys are ready to go.
This chief of staff fellow seems to be taking his sweet time getting back to us. He had better not be playing games.
I don't blame the bagger. If the president had followed precedents and appointed a career officer as chief of staff, we won't be in this mess. Instead, he went to headhunt a U.S. State Department reject. As if our boys are not good enough.
Adiomiko. Very pathetic.
Your Excellency. Your Excellency.
Mr. Johnson, or whatever your name is, I have better things to worry about in my life than to worry about what the president thinks of you. I did not rat you out to anybody. As a matter of fact, I take an exception to this call.
I am sorry, Your Excellency, but my wife just told me that the president brought up the matter with her.
How is it my concern? Please. I am expecting an important call. Please get off this line. Can you imagine this wimp of a man? A man that cannot even control his wife.
You know, men from that part of the country are very weak. I cannot imagine myself, Tim Ibe, a man as a man should be, to marry a wife who will have a job that will make her superior to me. If you do me, it's not done.
Not all men from that part of the country are weak. I've met many. that are very strong and courageous in the military. He's just a spineless woman rapper.
Gentlemen, please let us change the subject and talk about something else. Like, where the heck is this bloody chief of staff?
Haja, Megida is still asleep, and I chose to let him sleep some more. It seems our guests would have to reschedule their compassionate visit for another time.
Thank you, Paul. Let him sleep some more. I'll go and rouse him later on. After all, there is such a thing as sleeping too much.
Haja, it seems I left my mobile phone in the office. Can I please use the one in Megida's study? I have to make a very important phone call to the Vice President in Ghana.
Of course you can. You don't need my permission for that.
Thank you, Haja. So, what's your take on all of this, Madam Vice President?
I have to say that I find all of this rather curious. Now, I suggest that you report this strange get-well visit to the president as soon as he wakes up. I mean, these cowboys may just be up to some sort of mischief.
I'll certainly do that.
Another thing, you said they were gathered in your office? Now, you need to be careful. You remember when the former CSO tried to blackmail you?
Yes, I remember. I also remember your advice on taking precautions about my office. It's pretty safe.
Good. Now, keep me in the loop. All of this may pan out to be no big deal at the end of the day, but all the same, do not let your guard down. Is that clear?
Will do. Thank you, Ma. And all the best with the summit in Ghana.
Thank you.
Tim, will you stop fidgeting like a restless child?
I can't help myself, class. I can't help myself. Eh? Imagine this chinch of a chief of staff keeping us waiting like this. For all you know, he might have been in high school when I retired from the police and Inspector General.
I wish he was in the military. He would have been dealt with.
Quit moaning, brothers. Let us keep our eye on the ball here.
I'm very sorry to keep you all waiting, sirs. Unfortunately, the president is not yet awake. The First Lady gave me permission to ask if he would like to see you, but when I got into his room, he was still fast asleep, and I thought it best not to wake him.
In other words, you thought it best to leave the three of us in perpetual limbo, is that it?
Your Excellency, my primary concern is for the welfare of the president. His doctor ordered full and complete bed rest, and I didn't see the reason to rouse him if there isn't any national emergency, except there's something you three know that I don't.
Yeah, Paul Gunwalk or whatever they call you, do you realize the caliber of persons you're talking to? Do you realize the caliber of persons you're calling you three? And what are you insinuating?
I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to be rude. But if I may crave your indulgence, can we give another 1 or 2 hours, after which I can go back and see if he's awake?
Hey, now you're talking. Look, that is the tone of voice you should use when you are talking to your superior.
So, if we are to wait for these 2 hours that you speak of, where do you suggest we stay and wait?
Well, sir, you're welcome to stay here. I have a few rounds to make over the next few hours, and except, of course, you'd like me to get a guest room in the complex for you.
No, that is okay.
But we're comfortable here.
Well, if that will be all, sir, I should be on my way. I have a few rounds to make over the next 2 hours, and I'll be back. And I really, truly am sorry, sirs.
Carry on. Go about your business.
Megida, you slept enough. Time for breakfast. Eat something, and perhaps you can go back to sleep. Wakey, wakey, Megida. Be a good boy and eat something. Oh, stop your pranks. Megida, do you realize the three stooges are in the villa cooking up some mischief? You better get up and go and deal with them. Megida. Megida. Megida.
Seagull calling go too. Seagull calling go too.
Africa's most beautiful vice president, Akwaba, my sister.
Africa's smoothest talking statesman. I salute you, sir.
I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or not.
Trust me, Your Excellency, it's a compliment coming from a place of deep affection.
Now, who's a smooth talker, you or I? Beautiful Gideon 419er.
Oh, no, Your Excellency. The narrative has changed. Haven't you heard? We are no longer referred to as a nation of 419ers. Now, we are Africa's economic engine room.
I agree, and that is why ECOWAS needs your assistance to help put that Burkinabe general back in line.
Which is why I'm here, Your Excellency, to tap wisdom from Africa's finest mind.
There you go again. By the way, how's my elder brother and friend, President Sidi Ali?
No, he's doing very well. He's simply recovering from a mild case of the flu.
Oh, I hope it's not too serious.
Oh, not too serious, Your Excellency. You know your brother. I'm sure he'll be up and running by the time I return. He's a one-man riot squad. So, here is the outline of what we intend to do. First and foremost, we will be sending a 2,000-man peacekeeping force to the region to send a strong message that we will not tolerate a military regime in that area.
From the discoloration of Mr. President's lips, I can safely state the cause of death as poisoning.
Poisoning?
And I believe that he passed on sometime during the night or in the wee hours of this morning, when you consider the extent of rigor mortis that has set in.
You mean this was an assassination? Doctor, are you absolutely sure of this?
There's no doubt about it. His esophagus was inflamed and somewhat bloated. It was like an allergic reaction to a toxin. Listen, Mr. President was poisoned. But a post-mortem will explain further and we'll get to the bottom of this.
You know that's never going to happen. He's a Muslim. His family will not let us do one. Look, we need to get together with Hajia and talk about this. Gentlemen, you're excused. Okay? And keep this confidential. Okay, sir. Now go back to your positions and man them. Make sure nobody comes into these living quarters unless I say so. All right, sir. Okay? All right, sir. Okay. You know what? We need to come up with a plan. Okay? We need to know that Hajia is strong enough to help us get in touch with people that we can trust. We don't have any allies within here.
Is there something going on here that I need to know about?
Doctor, it's okay. It's okay. I will fill you in as we go on. Okay, right now, let's just go and meet Hajia at the president's study. Okay?
Debbie, this is not a time for you to be grief-stricken. You must act to take control of the situation.
You're right, Your Excellency. Now is not the time.
I'll put my office at your disposal to liaise with your people back in Bangidi so that you can monitor what is going on there.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I just need time to gather my thoughts before I decide what next to do.
I can tell you for free what not to do.
And what would that be, sir?
Don't rush back to Bangede. Evaluate the situation before launching out. And when you go back with a definite plan in mind.
Thank you, sir.
Stop there.
Why?
Sorry, you can't go in.
This is the president's wife food. Please let me go through.
My orders are not to allow anyone go in.
Why? Has something happened?
Whatever it is above your pay grade.
Look at you.
My friend, leave this place.
Ordinary bodyguards. Do you know who I am? But don't worry. Very soon.
Leave this place.
You will.
Aja, I can assure you of the full support of the Ghanaian people in this very, very tragic situation that we find ourselves in. I've made sure that Tabi has the full weight of my support as President of the Republic of Ghana and Chairman of ECOWAS, so that we can actually take control of this situation.
Thank you very much, Edward. You've always been more than a friend. You're a brother indeed.
Auntie Halima, you and I both have to be strong now, okay? Now you know that Al-Megida will expect nothing less. Your Excellency, Paul Gunwalk is the...
Yes, I know Paul. Paul, what is the reading of the present situation?
All I can say is it seems the Senate President and his cohort had foreknowledge of the President's condition. I will have to get more intel on the issue, but I am certain that there is a larger plot afoot.
All right, so who else is aware that the President is dead?
Apart from the two of us, the doctor and two bodyguards, no one else.
No one else.
Paul, I think you should keep it that way. Keep it that way.
The 2 hours we give that silly boy are up. What is keeping him, for goodness sake?
I hope he is not playing games with us. Because if he is, I will teach him a lesson or two.
Brothers, have some patience. Patience, please.
Will you get out? Are you mad?
I'm very sorry, sir.
Please, calm down. He is my inside man. He is the personal valet to the president. Come.
And what was that all about?
Gentlemen, can we observe a moment's silence for our newly departed President Sidi Ali?
It seems as this has been a palace coup. I preempted them by alerting the presidents of South Africa, Egypt, Senegal, Ethiopia, and Kenya. And they've all assured me that they will only recognize Mrs. Tabi Johnson as the legitimate successor to President Sidi Ali.
Thank you very much, Edward. These traitors don't deserve to profit from my husband's death.
Thank you, Excellency.
I reassure you of my full support.
Auntie, be strong.
We must convene a crisis management meeting with some key officials of state in attendance. Sariki, you will summon the commander of the Guards Brigade and the Villa Chief Security Officer. Let them meet us here. After, we must have gone to verify the message ourselves. My people will summon the Chief Justice and the Attorney General to also meet us here. Brothers, our destiny lies in our hands. Let us do the needful for our dearly departed president. Yeah.
Hajer, Doctor, you have to get back to the president's chambers now. The real drama is about to start. Your Excellencies, you would have to excuse us now. It seems the situation is about to escalate. Sir, I've already briefed your Chief of Staff. He'll give you the full picture.
Paul, please do what you have to do.
Thank you, sir.
Tavi, Edward, inshallah, we will be victorious.
Bravo! Excellent acting. The poor widow and her band of sorry sympathizers.
Clarkson, what is the meaning of this?
Madam, stop the acting, please. You and your co-conspirators have killed the president and have chosen to foist one of yours on us, the treacherous vice president. Well, your plans will not work.
Madam, you and your people are hereby placed under arrest. We are to restrict your movements within these quarters. Any attempt to get out of these quarters will attract severe consequences.
Please hand over your phones to this gentleman.
Hand over your... Take the phone away from him.
Both of you, stay here. Make sure nobody leaves this space. Do you copy? Sure.
Your Excellency, sir, I think I should go back to Bangidi. I mean, it is unfair. It is so unfair that the First Lady is being persecuted back home while I'm here.
Discretion is often the better part of valor. Of what use will you be if you walk straight into incarceration? We have to think of this some more.
Your Excellency, I have been thinking. That's all I've been doing. Thinking. And all I've been able to do is I keep hitting a brick wall.
Sometimes a brick wall offers a challenge that could give us a solution to this. I think we have to think a little bit more of this. So please, bide your time and let's think a little bit more deeply into this.
I just hope that we can come up with a plan in good time.
I think we will.
Gentlemen, we have just uncovered a very dastardly plot. A dastardly plot by a very unusual group of people. As I speak to you right now, the president of this nation lies dead in his bedroom.
I have also ordered the arrest of all the prime suspects involved in the assassination of President Sidi Ali. They include his wife, Ajia Ali, his personal physician, Dr. Chuma Obi, and the Chief of Staff, Paul Gomwok. Well, we have all reasons to believe that the Vice President, Mrs. Tabi Johnson, is involved in this plot. But as you all know, she's away in Ghana.
CGB,
Sir, yes, sir.
issue a red alert to all units immediately.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
You're dismissed.
Villa Sieso,
Sir.
the two bodyguards on duty at the living quarters, they have been disarmed and they are in detention. I want you to arrange their immediate debriefing. You
Right
read-
away, sir.
Holy Ghost fire, 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 Holy Ghost fire.
Ajia, there's no telling who else could be involved in this. The only two people we can rule out are the Vice President and the good doctor here.
Even if we could trust anyone else, how could we alert them without putting them in harm's way?
What about your son, Hassan?
Certainly not. They just killed my husband. I'm not putting him or anyone else in harm's way. So we'll leave him out for now.
In any case, we have to find a way out of this. Something has to give.
Inshallah, something will give.
Mahabasi, this is the height of treachery. Huh. Hachia, Vice President, the Chief of Staff. My Lord, this world is a very wicked world.
We will need you to issue an international warrant of arrest against Mrs. Tabi Johnson. She is conveniently away in Accra on a phony diplomatic mission.
Your Excellency, I am not too sure that any judge will be willing to sign off on such a warrant on the strength of the evidence that has just been given to me.
Mbaro Philip. Philip Mba. Well, let us reason together now. Is it not true that the Vice President was the last person who saw Mr. President late last night? Is it not also true that she later had a very late night meeting with Ajia, the First Lady, late last night before she conveniently ran away to Ghana? And how can you just generalize and say that nobody can sign off on arrest warrant when the Chief Justice is here? If you go to CJ, have you asked the Chief Justice?
Well, there's also the issue of the constitutional order of succession. My Lord, can you throw more light on this?
Getting a judge to sign the warrant is a non-issue. Every judge has the discretion of the amount of weight to attach to each evidence on any matter that is brought to his court. And it is my humble opinion that the circumstantial evidence against the vice president right now is very compelling. It is also my humble opinion as to your constitutional succession idea that I do not think that the vice president is a fit and proper person right now to be sworn in as the acting president, considering the weighty evidence against her. In that case, what do we do then, my lord? I would like to seek the advice of the Attorney General. So, Philip, what's your take on this?
Well, the constitutional order of succession places the right of choice on the president. Second is the vice president. Third is the president of the Senate. The House Speaker is the fourth, while the Chief Justice is the fifth. Under these circumstances, we may have to ask the President and the Senate President to offer himself as the acting President of the Federal Republic.
Well, if that is your legal advice, then I must concur.
Gentlemen, I believe all this is dependent on whether or not the Senate President is willing to take up the mantle. Otherwise, we may have to summon the House Speaker and ask if he's willing.
Mano, Sariki, what are you talking about, willingness or no willingness? Eh? Look at Classic very well. He is a patriot, he's very willing.
Well, courtesy and conventional wisdom demand that we ask him first.
True. Your Excellency, as a Senate President, will you be willing to offer yourself as the President, as the acting President of the Federal Republic?
It is with the greatest of humility that I accept this honorable call to duty.
One. Mr. President, congratulations.
Mr. President, congratulations.
My CNC, congrats.
Mr. President.
Well, gentlemen, in that case, I'd like to be excused so I can go prepare the international warrant of arrest.
Without let of hinder. Mr. President.
Here.
Ajay, where did you get this?
A gift to my husband from Gaddafi many years ago. He never had any use for it. You take it. You need it. If you're to have any chance of getting out of here.
The blood of Jesus! Blood of Jesus!
Doctor, it's all right. Go back to sleep.
No, I wasn't sleeping. I was in the spirits, in spiritual warfare.
Please continue. We need all the help we can get.
Amen. Amen.
Brothers
I bring you greetings from the Supreme Guru. He is very pleased with the progress we've made so far.
Wallahi, nothing gives us greater pleasure than advancing the cause of the Brotherhood.
Yes. My brothers, look at all of us in this room. Here I am, from the deep south, working harmoniously with Sariki, my brother from the core north, my oriental brother, Tim Mibe, and Wise One from the east, and the world-renowned jurist from the western frontier. I tell you, nothing gives and brings more enlightenment than the Brotherhood. Yes.
Very true.
Brothers, I bring you more wise counsel from the Supreme One. He counsels that you announce the death of President Ali during the 10 o'clock news tonight, and that you call a meeting of the Federal Executive Council, principal officers of the legislature, the judiciary, and the military at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And in that meeting, you will inform them of the complicity of the Vice President and the First Lady in the death of President Ali. He also counsels that you instruct the Attorney General to move a motion for your swearing in at the meeting tomorrow.
That makes a lot of sense. Sariki, Tim, I hope your boys are ready to quell any protest that may arise from the announcement later on.
Well, we are not envisaging any form of protest. But even if any were to arise, our boys are on high alert.
That's correct.
Good. You boys will not be needed at the conclave tonight. The Supreme Guru wants you to stay here and hold the fort for us until tomorrow.
Sorry to disturb you, sirs, but the President of Ghana would like to have a video conference call with the Senate President.
Where do we take the call?
Sorry, you can take it right there. This office has a secure communication system.
Okay, give us a few minutes to round off. We'll call you back to set it up.
Okay, sir. I'll be in the Secretary's office.
Excuse me, listen. Neutralize the Chief of Staff. He might pose a problem, if not now, later.
Okay, sir. Right away.
Well, I better go and leave you guys to get on with the business of state.
Thank you, sir.
My Attorney General has informed me that you've issued an arrest warrant for Mrs. Tabby Johnson, who is here with us. I'll need some clarification on that.
Your Excellency, I take it then that you have heard the sad news about our dearly beloved President Sidi Ali.
As a matter of fact, I have. I've refrained from offering my condolences until I receive official announcement on this.
That announcement will be made in a couple of hours, Your Excellency.
Do I take it that the arrest warrant that has been issued is related to this unfortunate tragedy?
Preliminary investigations implicate the Vice President, Mrs. Johnson, and the First Lady, Halima.
Clarkson, can I call you by name so that we can dispense with all this protocol and then we can deal with this as man to man?
Certainly, Edward. Let us do just that.
You and I know that all this talk of a Black Widow situation is all but bullshit.
BS is a strong word to use. I would much rather use the term that their involvement is remotely plausible, but plausible all the same. It really depends on who controls the narrative. And in this case, it is not them.
So there's a possibility of a little wiggle room in this matter.
Edward, I have always known you to be an astute politician. And you know, politics is all about the possible.
So what exactly do you want? And what do you want in return?
Edward, I like that. No foreplay and straight to the point. Okay. Let me say it as it is. I come from the school of thought that does not believe that a woman should ever be president. If President Sidi Ali had run his second term to the finish, that woman would have gained enough momentum and political clout to win the next presidential elections. Something had to be done about it.
Okay, I get it. You want Mrs. Johnson out of the political picture. So what are you willing to give in return?
What is there to give? The woman has always touted herself to be a technocrat and having no interest whatsoever in political intrigues. She gets the chance to pursue those passions, those technocrats' passions of hers without being stigmatized with the name of being called a murderer.
And if the vice president refuses to play ball?
Well, then, sadly, I will not be able to guarantee the safety of her husband.
What exactly do you mean?
Well, in the light of what may happen, I'm merely saying that the late president's loyalists may, in their quest for vengeance, attack him in the absence of the culprit herself.
Let me consult her and get back to you.
Your Excellency, we both know that the Vice President is there with you. Why don't you show her to us?
All right, Clarkson, you win. I'll send in my resignation from here and go on exile.
You see what I mean, Edward? No foreplay, and yet everybody is satisfied. Well, if you two will excuse me, I have business to attend to. I have a national broadcast to make.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What an ego.
President Sidi always warned me about him, said I should be careful around him. So, sir, what exactly do we do now?
My chief of staff will come and brief us on his last conversation with Paul, and then we'll take it from there.
Fair enough, Your Excellency.
And so, it is with great sorrow that I announce the dastardly murder of our dear President Sidi Ali. A man of uncommon qualities, a most dignified yet modest man. A consummate administrator and, above all, a man manager who gave his all to Bangidi. I know that I speak for all Bangidians when I say that this man did not deserve to go the way he did. Our dear President Ali, who even in the twilight of his life offered to lead this country at a time when this country was at the brink of balkanization. History will attest to the unquantifiable contributions that this great patriot gave to the progress and the unity of our great nation. To all the perpetrators of this crime, this heinous crime, I hereby put you on notice. You will be hunted down like the dogs that you are.
We're losing her. We're losing her. Go and get some help. She needs to get to a hospital. Go and get some help.
Guys, before we go, you can't take it down and run. Guys, we need to get you out to the hospital.
This is a medical emergency. Open the door. We need to get her to hospital. Don't let her die.
My guys are coming in to assess the situation. Don't do anything stupid.
The Supreme Guru is very happy at the level of progress so far to install a devotee as president. He would like to express his gratitude to Brother Faju Omola, the Chief Justice, for doing his bit. He is particularly glad that very soon this esteemed brotherhood will not only control the legislature and judiciary, but indeed the crown jewel, the presidency will soon come under our control. Tomorrow, Brother Clarkson Odiri will be sworn in as acting president, thus heralding the era of total domination of all the levels of power in the land by the Brotherhood. One person in this room has been selected as the anointed one to lead the country after the presidential elections for a substantive president in 3 months. At the appointed time, his identity will be revealed. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Hallelujah!
Dear madam, I hope you can see what your reckless adventure has cost. Because of you, a young man has been shot. And you, a wood doctor, you should be ashamed of yourself. Tomorrow, your fate will be decided.
Your Excellency, I have received many calls from your brother presidents stating that they will not endorse my being sworn in as acting president. I have a feeling you had something to do with this.
Clarkson, I thought we agreed to dispense with this kind of protocol. Yes, I did call them, but that was before we came to our agreement and our understanding. So I don't think you should be too worried on that.
Well, I quite understand that, but I also know that you can also call them to allay their fears in the spirit of our understanding.
Yes, it's only fair that I do so. And to go a step further, I will attend your swearing in my capacity as chairman of ECOWAS.
Well, that's fantastic. The ceremony will be taking place immediately after an expanded cabinet meeting in the morning, tomorrow. We should be done by, say, 1 p.m.
Thank you. I think I will be there, definitely.
I'll see you then.
Oh, Tabi. Why didn't you call to brief me on what was going on? Huh?
I'm sorry, Babu. So many things were happening at the same time and I just got caught up in all the madness. Forgive me.
Who am I to be offended with the acting president of the Federal Republic? So, when are you returning for the swearing-in? Or are you in the country already?
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I shall be putting in my resignation letter day after tomorrow. I'm done with all of this.
Oh, Tabi, please, stop joking. What do you mean resign?
I'm serious, my love. Now listen, I wish that I could explain it to you, but it's all rather complicated. We'll talk more about this when I return from Accra. Okay?
Well, listen, you better not come back from Accra then. You hear me? You good for nothing woman. We have a chance to get it all. Now you're telling me you resign? Resign how? In that case, I too resign from being your husband. Okay? You heard it all. She has been effectively snookered. Now, can I have my file?
I'm going to need a guarantee before I give you this.
Maybe I should have placed her on speaker. She says she's no longer interested in being sworn in. Neither is she coming back from Accra anytime soon. That should be enough for you. Can I have your file, please? Are these all the copies? I will wait for copies to surface later.
Mr. Husband of the former Vice President, you insult me with your words. If you would excuse me, I have something important to attend to.
You know, the Supreme One is very impressed with you, you know. According to him, you were quite the statesman with your delivery yesterday.
Ah, yeah, you're right. I was totally blown away.
Oh, yes.
Look at Oh, yes. It reminded me of the good old days of master orator statesmen like Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana and Nigeria's great Zeke of Africa.
Yes, that's true.
Thank you, my brothers. We have now come to the last stretch. We must finish well and strong.
That reminds me once again, has the Attorney General been adequately briefed? Because a lot depends on how well he does his duty this morning.
Well, I spent quality time with him after the speech last night. He is even eager to do the right thing by denying the plotters any chance of benefiting from their crime.
You know, Okwemana, the monkey, actually believes, that the First Lady and the Vice President both have a hand in the President's death.
Well, come to think of it, that's good. It's a good thing because it will help him perform his duty convincingly.
Exactly. Yes. Is everything ready, CSO?
Yes, sir. Everyone expected is here. They are all stood at the mini conference hall.
Good. We'll join them shortly.
Okay, sir.
President Mensah and his wife will be arriving shortly for the swearing-in ceremony.
Okay, sir.
It is most likely we'll be at this meeting when they arrive. So, usher them into the living quarters so they can pay the First Lady a condolence visit.
All right, sir.
With hearts and mind we hail you, Bangidi, oh Bangidi. With hearts and mind we hail you, Bangidi, oh Bangidi. With hearts and mind we hail you.
My dear compatriots, I am yet to recover from the traumatic experience of yesterday. Words cannot adequately express the depth of sorrow that I feel at the demise of my very dear comrade at arms. President Sidi Ali was not just a colleague politically that I respected very much. He was also my mentor, not just politically, but in all ramifications. I will hand over to the National Security Advisor so he can address us all as regards the events leading to this tragic loss.
Respected colleagues, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to read from my notes because I do not want to leave anything out. Yesterday morning, while we were waiting for the inner caucus meeting to hold,
Madam, Your Excellencies, President and Mrs. Mensah.
Oh, Halima. I'm so sorry. I can't imagine what these past 24 hours have been like for you.
Aja, take out. Enough about me. How's my younger sister Tabby doing?
Tabby is well. No, she's a tough cookie.
So these criminals are going to get away with this?
Certainly not. That brave young man, Paul, put a listening device in the office where the plotters were planning their conspiracy and patched it through my chief of staff's office. They will not get away with this.
You don't say.
Yes, we took a recording of everything that was planned. They're not going to get away with this. I promise you.
In the light of all this, I placed a call personally to the Vice President. In this call, she emphatically stated that she had no interest whatsoever in completing President Sidi Ali's term in office.
Rumor has it that she was forced into that position by accusation leveled against her, that she had a hand in the president's death.
Minister of Information, you should be the last person to go about peddling rumors. I wonder where you get your information from.
Well, if you must know, my Ghanaian counterpart told me that there's an international warrant of arrest leveled against her So please, pardon my impudence and provide clarity.
It is true that a warrant was hastily issued by the Attorney General. However, upon detailed investigation, it was very evident that she had no hand in it. And so, the warrant was just as hastily retracted and an attendant apology proffered. As it stands, it appears that the Chief of Staff acted entirely on his own.
In fact, that is the true position of things. You see, our investigations revealed that this same Chief of Staff was involved in monumental cases of embezzlement, which the President uncovered. We have reasons to believe that the President was assassinated because of this. Yes.
As the Attorney General of the Federation, I hereby move a motion that in the absence of the Vice President and in the light of our decision, that the Chief Justice immediately swear in the President of the Senate, Clarkson Odiri, as the acting President of the Federal Republic of Bangladesh, until elections are held within 90 days from now.
I, Lieutenant General Sarki Musa, Chief of Defense Staff of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Bangladesh, hereby second the motion as proposed by the Attorney General.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those against, say nay.
Nay.
Well, the ayes have it then. Before I invite the Chief Justice to address or administer the oath of office, may I crave the indulgence of our esteemed members in this expanded meeting to invite the President of Ghana, President Mensah, and his wife, who are currently at the villa paying a condolence visit to the First Lady, to join us in this wonderful ceremony. In that case, Chief Protocol Officer, please usher the President and his wife.
Your Excellencies, the President and Mrs. Mensah of Ghana.
Your Excellencies, to say that we are pleased to have you here with us would not do justice to the depth of affection that we hold not only for two of you, but for the entire people of our great sister nation, Ghana. Truly, the circumstances under which we are meeting is not the most pleasant. However, it buttresses upon us your show of support in this trying time of our great history. May I now crave the indulgence of everyone present is soliciting His Excellency President Mensah to throw across a few words to us.
For the first time in my life, words are failing me, but I must rise above emotion and sadness at the sad demise of my good friend and elder brother, the late President Sidi Ali. I'm here to offer my condolences and deep sympathies and offer succor to the good people of Bangidi. As you know, Ghana predates Bangidi in attaining independence, so technically we are elder brothers. But notwithstanding that, Ghanaians have a great respect for the people of Bangidi because of your great advancement in integrity, in the rule of law, and observation of the proper practices of good governance. I am gratified that after thorough investigations, the Vice President, Mrs. Tabby Johnson, has been found innocent of all charges of the purported assassination of President Sidi Ali. And therefore, permit me to invite Mrs. Tabby Johnson to address this august assembly.
What is it?
Fellow Bangidians, let me begin by stating categorically that there was never a time that I resigned. What I have here is a recording taken from the office of the Chief of Staff, where the conspirators coordinated and planned not only the assassination of our beloved president, but also the hijack of the instruments of power. I hereby order the Inspector General of Police to arrest immediately Mr. Clarkson Odiri, General Sarki Musa, Mr. Tim Ibe, and Justice Faju Omola.
What are you calling for? She's talking nonsense.
Arrest these men immediately.
What is she talking about? What are you talking about?
I have ordered the physical removal of all these men from this room immediately.
Nonsense.
I have the right.
Wake up early every morning, out to make an honest living. Woo-hoo. When the day's old, I count my blessings, for it could have turned out much worse. Wake up early every morning, out to make another's living. When the day's over, I count my blessings, for it could have turned out much worse. Sun don't shine on every head, rain don't fall on every shoulder. don't shine on every edge. Rain don't fall on every shoulder.